It's a Sunwing vacation that was anything but sunny for a Canadian woman who says she was sexually assaulted by a resort employee in Cuba. Tonight, she's speaking out to City News, saying little was done to help her get justice. A warning first to viewers, the story is graphic in nature. Emily, we've agreed to only use her first name, says the attack happened after she fell asleep after dark at the beach.
There was a man on top of me. He had one hand on my mouth, and he was trying to get me to be quiet, and I felt his other hand up my dress, and he was trying to take off my underwear.
Emily says she reported the assault to the front desk at Memories Veradero Beach Resort.
And I wrote down, I'm like, if we go, I can pick him out, I can show you. He tried to rape me, and I wrote everything down.
What was the response when you said that?
Really nothing. They just kind of stood there, watching me bawling my eyes out.
That night, the 29-year-old and her fiancé say they packed up their bags wanting to leave the resort, but staff talked them out of it. In the commotion, Emily says they left her purse in the front lobby with all their valuables inside, including money, phones, and their passports. The next day, security located the passports. Emily says they wouldn't return them without a promise.
They had our passports and wouldn't give them to me until I had filled out a report saying that I wasn't pressing charges. And then I got my passports back.
The resort denies that, saying the passports were found on the beach and there were no conditions on the return. But in the end, the couple didn't file a police report, though they did report the incident to Sunwing, and back in Canada took to social media to share their experience.
I have nothing to gain by telling people that I was almost raped. What do I get out of that?
She also left a review on TripAdvisor saying the resort did little to help her. In a now deleted response from Memories Veradero, the hotel refuted that claim, also saying Emily was, quote, inconvenient and verbally offending, adding they are still open for conversation.
I knew that they were covering it up, and I genuinely believe it's because I had accused one of the resort members of assaulting me. And aside from that, stealing all of our stuff.
I'm calling from City News Toronto.
After City News reached out to the resort, a new post with a very different tone saying, quote, we regret the original response you received on this platform. And in an email to City News, Blue Diamond Resorts, which owns Memories Veradero, states, there has clearly been a breakdown in communications, and we are fully cooperating with all parties to ensure this matter is further investigated. Sunwing, which sold the vacation package to Emily, also told City News in a statement, quote, we have launched an internal investigation into how this was handled by our team in destination and would welcome the opportunity to speak with Emily directly to better understand how we can address her concerns. Ahead on City News, a lawyer on what options women like Emily have when traveling abroad and what legal protections are in place.
Blue Diamond Resorts and Sunwing Vacations are both owned by the same parent company, Sunwing Travel Group. And a development to this story, just moments ago, Sunwing sent City News an update saying Emily has reached out to them to further pursue the investigation, and they plan on supporting her. And they say that while no one has canceled their reservations to Memories Veradero, anyone who wants to move their booking to another hotel of equal price can do so without penalty.
Earlier on in the show, we told you about a Canadian woman who says she was sexually assaulted by a resort staff member in Cuba. Emily, who lives here in the GTA, says all she wanted to do was report her assault, but little was done to support her. A warning to viewers, the story is graphic in nature.
I got mad. I got so mad. And I just pushed as hard as I could.
It was a fight that Emily, who we've agreed to identify only by her first name, says helped her get away. And the ordeal continued when she reported her allegations. The 29-year-old says staff didn't take her seriously.
I knew that we weren't going to receive the support that we genuinely needed. And it flipped to survival mode. I just said to Jordan, I'm like, we just need to get out of here.
In recent years, City News told you about multiple Canadian women who were on Sunwing vacations when they alleged they were sexually assaulted by resort staff.
He started to kiss me and to touch me.
He pulled me by my arm into the washroom.
I tried telling him, I'm married, stop.
It's happening on a scale much more broad than we even realize.
Lawyer Flora Weinberg says there are many challenges preventing people from reporting these sexual assaults, a process that can oftentimes be lengthy and intimidating. Weinberg says the cross-border legal process can be complex, adding victims may also consider a civil case against the resort, who has an obligation to keep people safe.
That includes in their hiring practices, in their training and supervision over their staff and their employees. And from a civil perspective, that's exactly what you would try to prove in a negligence case in sexual assault proceedings.
Sunwing tells City News it's working alongside a Canadian organization to address and prevent sexual violence. Quote, this engagement will include a review of existing policies and procedures to ensure a consistent approach to these issues. Our objective in partnership with White Ribbon is to work across the company towards awareness, prevention, and zero tolerance of sexual harassment, violence, and bullying. For those planning upcoming trips, Weinberg says, make photocopies of your passports, pay attention to government travel advisories, and to what other travelers are saying online.
They can post specifics about certain resorts, certain hotels that have had a high number of incidences of sexual assault that the Canadian government can't post.
Last year, TripAdvisor, an online travel site, introduced a feature that highlights traveler safety concerns, tracking posts made since 2018. So far, the site has tagged over 1,500 reviews for safety issues, and the majority of those are about sexual assault. The site also allows the resort the opportunity to respond. Emily wrote a review.
It ended up being a nightmare, like a nightmare.
And used social media to share her story.
If you're drinking, if you're wearing a short dress, if you went down to the beach by yourself, that is not a consent or an invitation to be assaulted.
For Emily, sharing her story is a step towards healing, and she says she hopes she can help others who've been in similar situations. You can find our extended interview with her on our website, citynews.ca. For City News, I'm Faiza.